The Fire Within. In a peaceful village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a young man named Kai. He was strong, determined, and kind, but he had one great weakness: his temper. When things didn't go his way, anger would rise inside him like a raging fire, consuming his thoughts and actions. His friends feared his outbursts, and his family often walked on eggshells around him. Even when he tried to control it, a single insult, a moment of disrespect, or a simple inconvenience could ignite his fury. One day, after a heated argument with a fellow villager, Kai stormed into the forest to cool off. His fists were clenched, his jaw tight, and his mind raced with angry thoughts. He kicked a rock into a stream, watching the ripples spread. But the frustration inside him refused to fade. Just then, an old monk named Master Jiro walked by and noticed the anger burning in Kai's eyes. The monk had seen many young men struggle with their emotions, and he knew that true wisdom lay in mastering one's inner self. Jiro sat down beside Kai and asked in a calm voice, "Why are you so angry, young man?" Kai exhaled sharply. "I try to stay calm, but people disrespect me. They push my limits. When things don't go my way, I feel this fire inside me, and I can't help but explode." Master Jiro nodded thoughtfully. "Come with me," he said. Curious but still frustrated, Kai followed the monk to a quiet clearing where a small fire burned. The flames flickered gently in the evening breeze. Jiro handed Kai a stick. "Strike the fire as hard as you can." Kai frowned but obeyed, swinging the stick with force. Sparks flew, but the fire remained. "Strike it again," Jiro said. Kai hit the flames over and over. The more he struck, the higher and wilder the fire grew. Then, Jiro bent down, took a handful of sand, and gently sprinkled it over the flames. Slowly, the fire softened, flickered, and finally died out. Jiro turned to Kai with a knowing smile. "You see, anger is like this fire. The more you fight it, the stronger it burns. But if you approach it with wisdom, it loses its power." Kai stared at the fading embers, realization dawning in his mind. "So, how do I put out my own fire?" Jiro's eyes twinkled. "The power to control your anger is already within you. Anger is not something others give you. It's something you create inside yourself. And if you create it, you can also extinguish it." Kai remained silent, reflecting on the monk's words. Jiro continued, "When you feel anger rising, do not strike at it. Do not feed it. Instead, pause, breathe. Let it settle like the embers of a dying fire. The more you resist the urge to react, the more control you will gain over it." Kai thought back to all the times he had let anger consume him, how it had cost him friendships, respect, and moments of peace. He realized that every time he had lashed out, it was not the world controlling him, but his own inability to master himself. From that day forward, Kai practiced the monk's lesson. Whenever he felt anger surging within, he took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and reminded himself of the fire. Over time, he no longer let his emotions control him. His outbursts became rare, and soon the people of the village no longer feared his temper. Instead, they respected his patience and strength. For true power, Kai learned, was not in the force of his fists, nor in the sharpness of his words, but in the calmness of his mind. And so, the fire within him, no longer rejetted, became a quiet, steady flame, guiding him through life with wisdom and peace.